Yeah, no.
Welcome back. It is the face of Friday night. Peter Kivazo and the team. Charles Romshana, Richard Baguma, and Mary Mutesi. And you viewer, you're able to join us. I'll take as many calls as my time will allow, so I get a bit of feedback.
So I was saying.
Yes, carry on.
When the president came in after the 1995 constitution, Parliament had been given a lot of power, and the president was looking at how to tame Parliament. So the process has been to kill Parliament, destroy Parliament from within and in the exterior, i.e. derink it from the population, and at the same time demobilize this Parliament, which has been done through the caucus, to mention about a few. Now, there is no democracy in Parliament. What you have there is stock exchange. You have, what do you have to sell? So like today you come up and you say, I'm Purama Mbabazi, and your account has 600 million shillings. But Parliament has taken decisions. For instance, like on the health workers, to raise their salaries. Parliament took a decision, we are not going to pass this budget. What happened? They were forced to withdraw it. You remember the decision they took on tax on fuel and agricultural products. The president ordered them. And yet we had given Parliament powers that if the president refuses to sign a bill, it's returned and it's returned, then it passes.
Charles, I have an interesting feedback here from one of the listeners.
And finally, as he comes in.
Let me read this. This is Mufumba Paul. He says, Peter, thanks for the show, but a large parliament is okay for as long as you have a country without jobs. I would rather see this parliament grow in numbers so that we increase jobs. And this is the same argument for the districts. Make it lucrative, expand it, go and create district assemblies, expand them. This is job creation.
So Parliament passes a resolution that should ordinarily bind the government, and the decision here from government, the pronounce here from government, these resolutions are not binding. They are merely advisory. And you see, this is why you now have a paradox, where you have a real crisis, a real contradiction.
Hold, I'll take this caller. Hello? Hello? Present, absent.
Hello.
Hello? Hello? Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. Your name, question, or comment?
My name is Dan from Soroti.
Yes, Dan. How is Soroti?
Soroti.
Yes, please shoot. I should have cut you off because you're very slow, but because you're from Soroti, I'll allow you to go on.
Yes. No, what Charles is saying, that there is no need to listen from General Saleh. He's actually saying that even now, the more educated than him should not listen to him.
Precisely.
Thank you.
Because what happened?
Okay, I'll take the next call. Hello? Hello? Okay, Charles. Briefly, very briefly.
Yes, so why you have a crisis is that if the Auditor General makes a report.
Hello?
Now,
Yes, good evening. Please
my
be
name
very
is
fast.
Albert Msasiza. I'm calling for dinner. I think the big point I'm seeing here, this MP and cutting their numbers is not a point. But initially, for one to become an MP should be very, very rich, that is not eyeing at this little money they are giving them. Now
So,
they are very,
so
very
I would
important.
never be a member of parliament.
That's just a number, it's not a point. But they should trim their powers and reduce. But they are giving them a lot of money at the expense of taxpayers. And then let them reduce the money. Then we move off. We move
Thank
forward,
you.
because I don't see why we should suffer.
Thank you, thank you. The last caller. Hello? Okay.
Yeah, so the Auditor General's reports are for Parliament. These reports
Hello?
Yes, hello.
Yes, this is Ivan calling from Mukono.
Yes, how's Mukono, Ivan?
I'm okay. Thanks for the show.
Welcome.
Yeah, but I wanted to say something about Honorable Umshana. He's always the prophet of doom for Uganda. Ever since this parliament came into power, we've been getting services, and the jobs are not available, and people are getting employed. Services are coming near. So there is no cause of alarm. Let's not scare the population as if it's a big issue that we have a big parliament. It can be there, and we are only interested in services. If they are coming, then that's all the population wants. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, and thank you very much,
You know,
callers.
they
I'll
ask-
come to the table, give everyone 3 minutes.
They asked Amin whether there was sugar in Uganda. He says there is a lot of sugar. You visit me in a house and you see. So when you hear someone say they should not scare the population, they should not alarm the population, it tells you whom he is. It tells you.
Okay, actually, Chaz, you can do only 1.5 minutes.
It tells you. So the Auditor General's reports are for Parliament. Parliament is in charge of monitoring the accountability of the executive. So if Parliament was able to stop corruption because it has that mandate, then you would have jobs created. The problem is that the outflows are not facilitating job creation. They are only facilitating luxury. You go and scan most of these people, their children are in international schools.
Which is not a crime.
It's not a crime, but it's not within our priority. In other words, if we had spent this money to improve our own systems, their children would be here. They would be having Medicare from Murago. So you have outflows that do not facilitate the consumption that does not create jobs, and that's basically the problem. But I don't think I'm a prophet of doom. I mean I'm showing you the
Do
situation
you
the way
think
it
the
is.
situation would improve, or would you cut the numbers?
I mean you have to first get the essence. The most important point is
And do you think we can
parliament.
arrive at that?
This parliament is
Do
irrelevant.
you think we can arrive at a point where we can have a sensible, reasonable, measurable, tangible, palpable parliament?
Yeah, if we did, yes, then we would think about representation. If we got the purpose for this parliament, but in actual terms, we don't have the purpose. So in other words, it can as well be deleted.
Mary, the 1 and so minute that you have, would you do a per capita representation?
Well, that is according to the calculation of Rakakamba, who has done very good research about that. But let me just mention 2 things. One,
No, you haven't
it
told
is,
me, would you or wouldn't you?
precisely, I'm saying I've not done enough research on that. So,
Mary, I know you
don't
are
know.
interested in the constituency in Kamuri, and the reduction in numbers would affect you.
Why are
Well,
you
it
saying
might
that
actually
now?
not affect you.
Now, two
Carry on very
things. Two
briefly.
things. One, I'm one of the people who has refused to buy the argument that people are in parliament because of lack of jobs. Because if you can get 500 millions that you can invest in a constituency for you to go to parliament, that means that you have capacity to create your own job and even create
what is
a
the
job
problem?
of
That you use parliament
several
to get those
other
jobs,
people.
to get those contracts.
Then, number 2, I
Possibly
also, yes, finally, I disagree with somebody who called in, and I think it was about jobs. But finally, I want to say this, that at the end of the day, we need a legislature. The proposition of the system of governance where we have governors, the senators, it is some kind of copying from the American system. Recently, Kenya started it, but it's also not working so well for them. So the best we can do, let us improve the very system that we have, which
Thank
has
you.
worked for us.
Richard, you're going to do my exit shots, but I'm thinking, if we went to a point where we have proportional representation, where parties sat, I know the Democratic Party attempted.
How
in
will you have
19
independence?
Hold on. Of course you wouldn't. Where in 1980 the Democratic Party sat and said the following criteria would be followed. If Richard Baguma and Peter Chivazo wanted a constituency X, and Richard Baguma was a graduate and Peter Chivazo wasn't, in the point structure, Richard would have scored a better point than Chivazo. if Richard had experience in blah, 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 he would score an extra point. So there was a point system in 1980 from DP. And parties would select their best for the proportional representation and say, okay, this is our team that we present from number 100, 1 to 100. If we get 30%, number 1 to number 30 are into the legislature, and that is the cream de la cream. Do you think that would help?
I actually think that is the diagnosis disorientation. I think this thing of basing one's capability, because I was going to come to that. Somebody says, I am more educated. Are you more educated? Are you more learned? The fact that you have a qualification, a paper qualification higher than me, are you more experienced? Are you more knowledgeable? Because we are talking about knowledge. Do we understand issues better?
You had experience, you had exposure.
Yeah, but you see,
each of them attained a certain point.
But you see, if I have been, if I've been fighting in Central Africa, in South Sudan, in Ecomog, in what? How do you count that? And those are the things I question. If I have had, yes, oh.
Richard, you have barely
if I have been working in business and I am at the level of some very huge business people, they haven't a certificate. How do you calculate that? So I think that is, that's why I am saying that there is diagnostic disorientation at the political arena. Two, I want to say that you see, representation is not just about theory, but also about the realities on the ground. That's why some representatives will keep coming back. Not about English. One of your people whom you brought on has been voted the mayor more than once, and he said, don't be confused with the disorder. So I want to say that the representation is not about theory, it's about the realities on the ground. And we must face those realities. Because if we talk about massages, then we have political saunas and political steam baths. And those talk about the very rich. Somebody should, the very rich. What is very rich in Uganda? What is very rich? I see people who have second-hand vehicles have said this, Mivumba, and they say they are rich. Excuse me. But those are the ones who will be voted to represent. And so we must be very careful. We won an election, me and Charles Rumshana, at a university because of poverty.
No.
Our selling point was poverty. Needed.
Not that you have improved a lot.
I don't think we have, but we won another election in a constituency to go to the CA. And so, but that was the representation.
Our program was about emancipation of the population.
Absolutely. We were representing the people because we talked about the issue that they care about. And so to come and totally castigate MPs for talking about roads and bridges, I think is unfair. Because that is ignoring, I think that is ignoring the realities on the ground.
I have to stand up and let these guys know that we are getting out of here. It's been a pleasure having you here this evening. If I don't get up off the red chair, these guys won't know.
But thank you for putting on a yellow shirt, Chibazo. I thanked you. Let me thank you
publicly. Is in the house intimidating some of us.
It is a yellow shirt because tomorrow KCCFC is playing its game in Kambole. Why not?
Well,